Hello. Hello once again. We are live. We are live now. Good evening, Philippines. Good evening, world. Welcome once again to our webinar for tonight for IGP or Institute for Global Professionals. We welcome you all. And to all our active participants, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much. We have a lot already participants showing and chatting in our chat box. We welcome you all, dear friends. I would like also to invite those who are still preparing. Please come and join us already so that we can all together listen to our and enjoy our webinar for tonight. All right. So we welcome you all once again. This is already our 529th webinar for IGP, and we are happy because we are all learning so far very well. I hope that you are enjoying all the lessons the IGP is presenting to all of us. And I am very much 100% that all of us are learning with all the webinars that we are joining in. Okay, so for tonight, before we start, I would like all the participants to please start sharing this webinar to your friends so that they will join us in any minute now. Also, uh, anytime we will be in a short while I will be presenting to you our speaker for tonight. So we will be discussing about the principles of 360 degrees leadership. All right. So before that, I would like to uh, talk more about how IGP organize their trainings and seminars. All right. So IGP or Institute for Global Professionals really organize their trainings and seminars for everybody who are interested to join in so that we can meet the goal and the mantra, feed your skills. So tonight, I would like us to relax and sit down and listen and enjoy to whatever lesson that our speaker will be sharing to us. Again, once again, let us learn and grow together. You share this webinar to all of your friends who are they're out there and so that they will join us. You can share it via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all the social media that you are into so that we can learn together. So without much ado, I would like to again reiterate tonight we will be having our speaker, and then we will also, if we want to ask something, we are free to share it and chat it in our chat box so that our moderators and our hosts will be reading it to our speaker so that the speaker will give answer to our queries and questions. All right? So without much ado, I would like us to know that this is our 529th webinar for IGP, and the title of this webinar is Principles of 360-Degree Leadership. Okay, so it makes us curious, why is it that it is entitled like this? Why is it that it is 360 degrees leadership? So the speaker will announce and will explain to us later on. May I have a special request that all the participants are requested to mention your 5 friends, at least 5 friends uh, in your social media accounts to share our webinar. So it is best for us to share this also because we will not just only be the one to have this knowledge and learning of the skills, but we can also share it to others. All right. So without much ado, I would like us to welcome our speaker for tonight. Again, he will be talking about principles of 360 degrees leadership. He is no other than Sir Vicente Gaco San Miguel. He is a licensed professional teacher and doctor of education. He is actually from the Philippines, my co-country. I am from the north and he is from the south. We welcome you all, Sir Vicente, and please enjoy. Explain to us why is it that the title is 360 Degrees Leadership. We welcome you all, sir. Let's give him a virtual round of applause. Welcome, sir. Okay. Sir, it is your turn. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mom, for that very generous introduction. And also, thank you for gracing this event tonight, also, as I think everyone is very excited enough also and curious why is it that this seminar is uh, titled Principles of 360-Degree Leadership. Okay. I'm Vicente G. San Miguel from Malaybalay City, Bukidnon in Mindanao, Philippines. And currently, I am connected with the Department of Education, serving as Public Schools District Supervisor. Okay, so from the viewers and of course those who enjoyed tonight this activity, once again, we welcome you. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank the leadership of the IGP for this privilege of sharing uh, on the principles of 360-degree leadership. Now, as we can see, there is this frustrating tensions battled every day in leadership, and that is universal. And leaders today face the challenge of influencing people. Of course, that uh, of course covers from the different phases of life, and of course all these challenges are influencing people from all sides of an organization. And many managers also with leadership responsibilities feel that because they are not the main leader, they cannot influence their uh, bosses, peers, and even their subordinates. So even if managers report to someone else, they can use the three different skills of leading up, leading across, and leading down the enterprise. So once leaders can incorporate these principles into their own style of management, they will be able to influence others in every direction and become a 360 degree leader. Now, there is this classic pictures of leadership. I know that many of us we're very much familiar not to these leaders, and one of this is William Wallace. So William Wallace actually was born in the circa 1270 near Prosley, Winfrey, Scotland. William Wallace was the son of the Scottish landowner, and he spearheaded his country's long engage against the English towards freedom, and his martyrdom paved the way to or for eventual success. So he leads and the charge of his warrior against the army that would oppress his people and him. So that's William Wallace. Another also is it's very familiar to us, and that is Winston Churchill. So Sir Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill was a British politician, and he was a military officer and writer who served as the Prime Minister of Great Britain, and that is from 1940 to 1945, and from 1951 to 1955. And also, Churchill was born on November 30, 1874 at Wilhelm Palace in Oxford, Shire in England. And after becoming a prime minister in 1940, Churchill helped lead a successful allied strategy with the US and Soviet Union during the World War II to defeat the Axis powers and craft post-war also peace, and of course defying the Nazi threat as much as Europe collapse. So that's how he led. Then, of course, another is very familiar also to us in the person of Mahatma Gandhi. He was born on October 2, 1869, and January 30, 1948. Of course, Mahatma Gandhi was one of the most prominent leader also in India. He leads the 200-mile march to the sea protest on the uh, one no, of the very controversial um, protest that he conducted in India that eventually helped also liberated uh, India. And that is why he was a leader called to lead no, the 200-mile march to the sea to protest the SALT Act. And then another is Mary Kay Ash. And I know that we're very much also familiar with her. She was born in May 12, 1918 to November 12, 2001. Actually, Mary Kay was a very visible and very active and almost ridiculously um, feminine looking role model, a God fearing, hardworking, and immaculately groomed mother of three who was doing everything within her power to see other women get ahead, and who loved mentoring so much that she referred to her saleswomen as her daughters, and going off in her own to create a world-class organization. So this is one of the examples no, of leaders who lead across the different areas in the organization. Another also is Martin Luther King Jr. He was born also in January 15, 1929 to, and he died on April 4, 1968. He was known actually as Christian minister and activist who became the most visible spokesperson and leader in civil rights movement. That's from 1955 until his assassination in 1968. And he stands before the Lincoln Memorial challenging the nation with his dream of, reconciliation. No? And all of these leaders have done good things just to really help the people and become liberated. So, in the things that they believe in, and all of these leaders leads from across uh, areas of their organization, and they become successful in doing that. So, each of these people was a great leader and impacted hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people. If these pictures can also be misleading because only 99% of all leadership occurs from the top, but from the middle of an organization. So, meaning we can lead, no, wherever we are, we can always lead our people. So, where's the best place from which to lead? That's the first question that we need to understood. Now, the 360 leader can develop his or her influence from wherever they are. No, meaning if you are in your organization, the 360 leader actually, you can influence the people around you. It might be your peers, your boss peers, your peer subordinate, your subordinates, your peer subordinates, your peers, or your boss peers, or your boss yourself. You can always lead all of this, or meaning you can lead the people around you. Now, first and foremost, we need to understand that there are five levels of leadership. And of course, the first level of leadership is the position or right, meaning people follow you because they have to. So, this is the first level of leadership. Now, the first level of leadership also is the lowest level of leadership because this is the starting point of leadership, and it is the level at which the leader has achieved the right to lead in an organization without any difficulty. Why? because anyone can be appointed to this position. So for that reason, it tells you that nothing about the person's leadership qualities is important, because at this level, the leader is not or barely able to influence others, and he uses his job just to get things done. Now, according to John C. Maxwell, he is one of the well-known author when it comes to leadership. He said that he argues that the expression "it is lonely at the top" is typical for this level of leadership, because employees do not see the leader as someone they can trust, and let alone someone to discuss things with. So people who report at the leader like that are general, unmotivated, and prepared to avoid him, and even consider charging the job or the organization. So that is why this is the lowest level. Why? Because according to one of the leader, in our organization in the Department of Education, if you said that you are, if you said that, or if you believe that leading at the top is a lonely thing, you are doing the wrong thing. Why? Because it might be that what you are doing is wrong, because you have not enjoyed your leadership style. Considering that if you are in the top, then of course you can always influence the people around you. Then another is permission relationship. Now, this leadership implies that people just follow you because they want to. So, meaning this leadership level is about human relationship. So, it is very important that leadership would escalate from the position to permission, meaning you begin to establish relationships. So, that is why leaders need to really gain um, the rights of establishing relationships. So the relationship level is about a human relationship that the leader has to build around him, and it's like he is given permission to act a leader, and as a leader, and he is trustworthy individual, and his organization tend to agree with his decisions that he make, because he has a good relationship with the people around him. So at this time, since the people around him that he is leading is permitting him to lead, then he began to at least have an influence of the people around him. So, according to John Maxwell, that is the second level of leadership. The third level of leadership is production or results based leadership. What is this? People follow you because they want to follow you because of what you have done in the organization. In other words, it's about the measurable results that you have seen, and of course, you have achieved under your leadership. So, what the leader meant to achieve in a company has been very helpful, and the people see it as very vital in the organization. So it's very important that from the first level, that is, as I have said a while ago, from the right, then you need to establish a personal relationship with the people that you are leading. And the third is production. Why? Because it's very important that your relationship in leading with the people escalates from first level, second level, and now to the third level. The fourth level is people development or reproduction. So, what is this? Now, the fourth level is about people development or reproduction. So, what is this? At this point of leadership, people follow you because of what you have done for them. So, from what you have done in the organization, in the third level, now you escalate to the fourth, and that is you make these people that you are leading become productive. And because you make the people that you are leading productive, they were able to realize their importance and their part of the organization. Then, of course, uh, fifth and the last is personhood. And what is that? It is all about respect. So, what is this? Now, this is the highest because people follow you because of who you are and what you represent. And to be honest, just a very few people were able to make at this level. Why? Because at this level, um, when you reach at this particular level, at the top of what is possible, the leader at this level is his status is based in the foundation of respect, meaning the people around the organization is respecting him because of what he has done in the organization, because he makes the people within the organization productive. And that is the reason why the people around him that he is leading paid their respect at his leadership. Now, what level of leadership you are in? That is the next question. We need to understand and even to gauge ourselves at what level of leadership are we in right now. Why? Because according to John Maxwell, we have this five leaders of, or we have this five levels of leadership. So as I have said a while ago, the first level is that is called a position, because um, you send yourself as a leader, and the people around you are seeing your position as right, and that's the basis of that's their sole basis of following you. So that is why, as I have said a while ago, you need to climb to the next level, and that is position or permission. And that can only be done when you are establishing a good relationship with the people that you are leading. Okay. Then, of course, the third is production. So what is production? That's the time that you begin to let the people follow you because of the result. And what is the result? That is done primarily because you were able not to do something in the organization worth emanating for and worth following. So that is why the people now give their they pay their respect to you and listen or begin to listen to you because of the result that they have seen. And the fourth is reproduction, and that happened because of the way you develop your people in the organization is the last. And the last is pinnacle or respect, because the people sees you and sees your leadership worth respecting because of what you represent in the organization and because of what you have done in the organization. So that is why we need to climb from the first level to the second level, to the third level, and to the fourth level, eventually to the last level of the organization, which, as I have said a while ago, there are only few people who were able to reach the peak or the pinnacle part. Why? Because only few people also dedicated themselves to really develop at the fifth level of leadership. Now, we need to understand also that in the first level, from the first level to the fifth level, there are some ways or ladders that you need to go through as leader. So, as leader, you need to understand your part, your share, so that you will be able also to gauge not only your own personal competency, but of course, you can also develop yourself in climbing to the ladder of leadership according to its levels. Then we need to talk also about the myths of leading from the middle, because this is one of the things or one of the area or the gray area of leadership in which many people were not able to really clearly understand what is this all about. Now, you do not have to be held hostage to your circumstances or position. So please remember that when you are viewing your leadership because of the position, as I have said, that is the lowest level. So uh, please bear in mind that you need not to be the chief uh, executive officer in your organization just to lead effectively. And you can learn to make an impact through your leadership even if you report to someone who is not a good leader, because there are lots of people that says that they said that they cannot lead effectively because their boss or the leader that is above them is not an effective leader. That's wrong. Why? Because you can lead effectively in your own way. And what's the secret of that? You have to learn to develop your influence from wherever you are in the organization, and that's by becoming a 360-degree leader. So you learn to lead up, lead across, and lead down. So that is the principle of 360-degree leadership, meaning you can lead whether you are leading up, leading across, or leading down, meaning you can lead the people around you, as I have said a while ago. Now, of course, we have to understand not everyone understands what it means to influence others in every direction. Of course, those who work for the people who are in the same level with you and those who work with you. Some people are good at leading the members of their own team, but they seem to alienate the leaders in other departments of the organization. So there are people like that. Other individuals also excel at building a great relationship with their boss, but they have no influence with anyone below them in the organization. So there are also people like that. And another people that are few can get along with just anybody in the organization, and it's good. But you know what? All of these styles can be learned if we have to learn our leadership competencies. And of course, but they can get along with anybody. There are lots of people, or there are lots of people that you cannot just get along with anyone because they might feel very inferior, or some people also feel that they're superior, and because of that, that becomes um, the thing that alienate them. But of course, uh 360 leaders are different. Why? Only 360-degree leaders influence people at every level of the organization, and that is done by helping people and helping others, and also by doing that they are also helping themselves. Now, the 360 leaders, as I have said a while ago and reiterated a while ago, that this is the people that was able, or that were able to lead the people within their organization, and they don't care whether that's their boss, their peers, their boss peers, or the as long as they have seen the opportunity to lead, then they will lead. And the myth number one is the position myth. What is that? There are many people that said that you cannot lead if you're not on the top. As I have said, this is a position myth. Why? Because effective leadership isn't a title. We have to know that. According to John Maxwell, he said, the reality is that only 99% of all leadership occurs not from the top, but rather from the middle of an organization that you are involved with. So, meaning you can lead from everywhere you are by developing your influence. So, in other words, wherever you are, you can always lead the people around you, whether in the top, at the bottom, or across the organization. So, do people follow leaders simply because they have a title? Sure, of course. As we know, there are lots of people that just follow the leader because of the position that their leader is holding. But of course, position itself does not guarantee productivity or even effectiveness. So people follow you because they must, but the result is high turnover and low morale. So this is really a myth, because take note that leading a people is not only making the people productive, but making also the people feel that that they are all involved in their, and that they are big part in the organization. Okay, so that's the myth number one, the position myth. Number two is the destination myth. So what is that? When you get to the top, you'll be able to lead. That many people also believe in that. Of course, there's a bit of seeing when I get to be a brain surgeon, then I'll know how to operate. Or when I sit on a cockpit, then I'll be able to fly. The truth is, you have to know a lot about leadership before you ever enter a position that requires it. So, in the principle of the 300-degree leader, developing your influence from anywhere in the organization is very much important. So that is why please do not wait that you'll be on the top and then you will have to develop your leadership ability or your skill. So why? Because even if you are in the middle or in the top or in the bottom or across wherever you are in the organization, you can always lead the people around you. Of course, the third is influence myth. What is this? If you act or if you are at the top, people will follow you. So this is another myth. Why? A leadership position does not automatically confer the ability to be influential. Okay? According to Susan Williams, he write and he said in the Business Book Review, those who lack leadership influence often put leadership rule on a pedestal. And that is overestimating its importance. So that is why, as I have said a while ago, we need to really cultivate the leadership abilities and skill that we are that we have, I mean, wherever we are. So whether we are in the middle, in the bottom, or wherever we are in the organization, just lead. Okay, and try to develop yourself. The number four is the inexperienced myth. So when you get at the top, you'll be ready to exert control. And what is that? Just as people in the position of leadership overestimate the importance of their titles, they may misjudge how much control they may actually have over the organization. But as Maxwell points out, the higher you go, the larger and the larger the organization, the more you realize that many factors control the organization. So, meaning as the organization is getting larger, then it means also that there are many factors that controls the organization. So meaning you can control everything. So what you can do is develop and leverage your influence so that you can control what is in your power. Meaning we need, so that is why, as I have said a while ago, it is very important that you need to cultivate the leadership influence that you have in yourself wherever you are in the organization, because your position, even even your position is not a guarantee that you will be that you will succeed in leading the organization. So uh, that's the thing that you need to be very aware of also. And number five is the freedom myth. So what is this? When you get to the top, you'll be free of limitation. So I think many of us uh, may disagree this or may also agree on this. But the truth is, you're in charge. Yes, it's true. There's nothing holding you back because you are in charge of the organization. Except that the higher you go, the more people expect and demand. So, according to John Maxwell, he said that using power or in the organization is good, but again, you need to cultivate important considerations in leading the organization. And he said his schedule is, according to him, a successful salesperson, his schedule is flexible and he can operate with freedom as long as he hits his targets. Then he's promoted to sales manager. So, what is this? Um, it is very important that, for example, in this particular example, that a salesperson, um, He needs to be flexible so that he can operate the freedom that he has. That's also the same in the organization. Yes, we have the freedom what to do in the organization, but please know that there is this organizational culture that you need to follow. And we need not to go beyond what is the organizational culture that we have in our organization. Myth number 6 is the potential myth. What is this? You can reach your potential when you're not at the top. So, what is that? People should strive to be at the top or their game, not on the top of the organization. So, because many people believe that your potential will only be developed when you're at the top. But again, this is wrong. As I have said and stated a while ago, you can always lead and become a successful leader, leading your organization wherever you are in your organization. Myth number 7 is the all or nothing myth. What is this? If you can't get to the top, so you shouldn't try to lead. So this is another extreme statement, no? So this myth is very destructive. Why? Because not only to individuals who inevitably feel disillusioned, discouraged, and embittered, but to organization within lack that leaders they need at all levels. So leadership is not or nothing. You can make an impact wherever you are in the organization. So that has been reiterated, no, a while ago that we can always lead the people around us, whether we are in the top, in the middle, or below, or we can lead across the organization. All we need to do is just develop ourselves, and of course, the competences of leadership that is that we can learn. Then there is this three principles to help leaders bring value and influence to and from every level of the organization by John C. Maxwell. First is, I have mentioned that a while ago. First is leading up. What is leading up? Leading up is the process of influencing a leader. So this process include lightening the leader's load by being willing to do what others want, while knowing when to push forward, and also that is also of course you have to know also your limitation when to back off. So again, leading up is, according to John Maxwell, this is three principles that would help every leader to bring the value and influence in every level of the organization if you just know how to use this. So again, leading up is a process of influencing um, by lightening the leader's load by being willing to do what others don't want to do. But of course, you need to know when to push forward or back off. So that is leading up. So as a leader, if you're not in the top, you're in the middle, or you're below, when you are leading, just know where is your, or where up to where is your, you need to hold the line that you are leading. So, how can I make my best of my leadership role while overcoming the challenges and eluding the myths? So, the first step is becoming a 360 degree leader, and that is by learning to lead up. So, meaning all of us, if we are leader, please, we know this since I think since from elementary years that we know this, that if you want to become effective leader in the future, learn also how to obey. And leading up is helping, pushing other people to obey the top leadership, and that is leading up basically. And the principle there is principles behind leading up. So first is, the first principle is you have to lead yourself, no? You have to lead yourself exceptionally well exceptionally well, and self-manage the following. So what are the things that you need to self-manage? Number one is you have to manage as a leader. One of the things that we need to consider is our emotion. So for us to effectively lead the people up, the first thing that we need to learn is to manage our emotion. Another thing is we need to also learn managing our time. Again, for us to become effective in leading other people, first, we need to what? Learn to manage our emotion, manage time, of course, manage also our priorities. Considering that we are in the workplace and a lot of things is, dragging us and even dragging our focus and attention. So that is why it is very important for us to manage our emotion, manage your time, manage your priorities, manage your thinking. Why? Because basically, when things are running, your emotion, your time, your priorities, your energy, and even your thinking somewhat might be disturbed. So that is why you need to effectively and exceptionally well leading and managing the following. Of course, manage your thinking, manage your word, and of course, your personal life. It is very important that when we are leading, we need to also see to it that we are leading and even leading exceptionally well in our personal life. And that's a very important principle. So leading up is first leading yourself exceptionally well. Number two is lighten your leader's load. What is that? At this moment in the principle two, you need to learn and you need to know how to lift your leader's load. Because basically, if we're in the middle or below, if you're not the top leader of the organization, you need to consider this. What is that? You need to do, provide, tell, go, and stand up. What is that? Do is, since we are very concerned of lifting um, the load of our leaders, especially if we are below, so we need to understand that our leaders, the leadership above us, is expecting us to help carrying the load that they are carrying as an organization or as the lead organization. So that is why first is you have to do your own job well first. Before you can lead other people, you have to do your job so well so that the people you are leading and your comrades will follow you eventually. So the next thing is provide. What is that? When you find a problem, provide a solution. Do not just come to your leader bringing the problem without any solution. If you want to help lighten the load of your leader, please bear in mind that if you have a problem and you want to divulge that problem to your leader, please bring what is the viable solution at your level, okay? To let your leader know. And at that point, your leader will be able also to understand that you are helping him, okay? Leading or lifting his load as leader. Third is, so what's the first? Do. What is do? Do your job well first. Then number two, provide. What is the thing that you need to provide? When you have a problem, provide a solution. Number three is tell leaders what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. What is that? When you are telling the people, or when you are telling, I mean, your leader, what he needs to hear from the people within your organization, meaning you are bringing the feedback. And you are also bringing that feedback not to destroy the leadership, but rather make the leadership aware that you have some problem that needs to look on so that it will be improved or the condition of your organization will be improved. Then next is stand up for leader whenever you can, meaning defend your leader. Okay, so I hope principle number two is uh, of course a bit no clearer to us. Okay, so what is that again? Do, provide, tell, go, stand up. Then the last is ask your leaders how um ask your leaders how you can lift the load. So you are here or you are there in the position to help your leader. Next, principle number three in leading up is be willing to do what others want, because it is really in the organization that some other people who don't want to help the leadership, they become very callous, and they don't want to give their support. So when I say be willing to do what others want, that would basically mean that you need to take also the top job, meaning help your leader by taking top job. Number two, pay your dues, whatever it is, do your thing, do your best, and also share what you can. Then, of course, work in obscurity. Another is succeed with difficult people, meaning try to also help acing the organization by helping also to reach out the people in the organization that are callous, because not everyone in the organization is really good. There are really people in the organization that do not want to participate the leadership of your leader. So that is why help by reaching out. If you have influence, especially those people that are very negative in the leadership within the organization, try also to help reaching them out by letting them also to understand and be a good influence to these people if you can. Okay. Then of course put yourself in the line. No, you have to see to it that you are holding the line as one of the people that is of course as one of the people that is of course expected by your leader to help leading the organization, because it is really very difficult to lead, especially if the organization is a big organization. Then of course do more than what is expected for you. It's very important that you need to do an extra mile. Why? Because doing an extra mile for the organization can just help lighten the load of your leader within the organization. Next is be the first also to step in and help whenever things go wrong in the organization, whenever things is becomes difficult in the organization. Be the first somebody to extend help within the organization. Then of course another is perform tasks that are not your job when it is needed. Why? Because again, there are really those people that don't want to help the leadership in the organization because they are so negative of the leadership. So if they're not doing their job, just do an extra mile. And by doing that, you can perform the task that is not yours, so that the organization will become stable. Then, of course, take responsibility always, especially when the organization is needing you to do that responsibility when others won't. Okay? So, again, what is that principle that we have talked a while ago when we say leading up? When we say we lead up, yes, we lead ourselves exceptionally well. Then, of course, lighten your leader's load. Then, third is be willing to do what others want. And number four is do more, or do more than what is expected. So, what is that? You are a leader in the organization, and because of that, you are there to help manage and leading, or manage as well as lead the organization. So managers work with processes. So in other words, we need to understand that it is also our share that we need to help manage the organization, and we ourselves should also learn to do or to go with the processes. Then, of course, leaders work with the people, and leaders lead the people who manage the processes. So the first thing also that we need to do more is we have to learn the process by heart, because when we know the processes in the organization, it's very easy to give or to give influence to everyone in the organization when we know that we are master of the processes within the organization. So that is why it's very important that being a leader of the organization, we need to learn the different steps of the processes in the organization, so that when one people is not around, then you can just, or anybody can just do the job, making the organization stable without the presence of those people that usually do the thing that is being done in the organization. So meaning the absence of one in the organization is not a detrimental, because anyone in the organization knows how the organization is operating, even without anyone or without anybody, especially those people who are in charge. Principle number 5 in leading up is invest in relational chemistry. What is this? Relational chemistry is very important, because when we don't have, as I have said a while ago, that there are this levels of leadership in the organization, and when you are just viewing your leadership as an as a position, it's very difficult. So that is why relational chemistry is very important. Why? Because we need to invest in relationship with the people within the organization that we are leading. What is that? Investing in relational chemistry, meaning you have to listen your leader's heartbeat. What your leader want to do in the organization. What is his dream? Following the mission, vision, the core values of the organization. Then also, know how your leaders priorities, or what is the leaders, or what is your leader's priority in the organization, so that you can help push all those priorities that he want to pursue in his leadership. So instead of criticizing, be a helping hand by, of course, helping uh, yourself by knowing your leader's priority. Then third is catch the leader's enthusiasm. So please, if your leader is very enthusiastic in doing his thing, catch his enthusiasm also, so that the enthusiasm that you have catch from your leader, you can also be able to pass it on to the people next to you, or to the people that you are leading in your organization or in your particular level. Okay, so again, listen to your leader's heartbeat. Of course, know your leader's priority. Third is support or catch your leader's enthusiasm. Number 4 is support your leader's vision. So what is his vision? Support it. Help that vision be implemented. Then another thing is connect also with your leader's interest. Because when you are connecting your leader's interest, you will not be alienated on what is going on in the organization. Also, the people that is following you behind will not be also alienated. Why? Because you are basically connecting them. Then another is understand your leader's personality. Of course, our leader is not perfect. At times, they'll be happy. At times, they'll be sad. At times, they'll be angry. At times, they'll be enthusiastic. And at times, they'll also down. So that is why we need to understand our leader's personality. Then, of course, Next thing, we need to earn our leader's trust. Because when your leader trusts you with all their heart, then your organization will go well smoothly. Why? Because you are not insecure. And your leader also is not insecure because he was able to place his trust and confidence in you being the next leader in the organization. And next is learn to work with your leader's weaknesses. When you see your leader's weaknesses, don't backbite him or her. Rather, help your leader strengthen his weaknesses. That is the reason why your leader is not perfect, because in the absence of his imperfections, then you can always support and strengthen his weaknesses, because his weaknesses might be your strength. Okay? Then, of course, next is respect your leader's family also. Okay, so it's very important that we need to respect your leader's family. So, principle number 5 in leading up is all about investing a relational chemistry. And you can always and you can only invest relational chemistry when you know your leader's heartbeat, when you know your leader's priorities. Of course, catch your leader's enthusiasm. You have you were also able to catch your leader's vision, his interest. You understand your leader's personality. You earn the trust of your leader, and also you also work with your leader's weaknesses and respect his family, and that's a very good starting point for your organization to be strengthened. Okay, then number 6 is be prepared every time you take your leader's time. What is that? Invest 10 times, spend 10 minutes preparing for every minute that you expect to meet. So, meaning it's very important that before you meet the people that you are leading in the organization, please prepare and spend 10 minutes preparing for every minute that you expect to meet. And of course, invest 10 times. It's very important that you need to really fortify your walls, especially in leading the people, in meeting the people that you are leading. Another is don't make your think. Oh, don't make your think for you. Okay. Then of course bring something to the table when you meet with your people. Then when asked to speak, don't wing it. Then learn to speak your boss language also. Meaning that is why relational chemistry is very important, because when you are able to catch the heartbeat of your leader, his passion, of course, his vision, his interest, etc., then you can now talk the language of your leader. Meaning, the people that you are leading will be able to know the language of your leader also. And next is get to the bottom line. What is the bottom line of the thing, of the leadership? Then number 7 is give a return of your leader's investment also. So in other words, you need to learn also to lift up your leader or your people that you are leading in the organization. So do not be uh, timid when it comes to praising people, especially on the things that they have done in the organization. So, principle number 7 is know when to push and when to back off. So, that's very important. What is that? What are the things that you need to consider in principle number 7? First is, do I know something my boss doesn't but needs to? Another thing is time running out? Another thing is, are my responsibilities at risk? So that's another consideration. Then, can I help my boss win? Okay. Then another thing is, when should I back off? So that is why it's very important that we need to know our line as leader. So when to know, where to push, and when to back off. Another consideration also is, am I promoting my own personal agenda? Because it is very crucial, especially when you are leading. Then, of course, Have I already made my point? Must everyone but me take the rest? Another thing is, does the atmosphere say no? So, as a leader, we need also to learn how to read, or we need to learn to read the map of our organization and, of course, our organizational climate. Principle number 8, become a go to player. What is that? A go to player produced when the pressure is on. Another is when the resources are few, meaning you can extend a helping hand when there is a pressure, when the resources are few, when the momentum is low, so you are there to help. When the load also is heavy, so please be there, meaning please be a person to go to, meaning that is a principle to become a go-to player. Then another is when a leader is absent, please be there. And when the time is limited, please be there also. Okay. Principle number 9, be better tomorrow than you are today. So that is why we need to understand that each individual days of our lives is an avenue for us to, really be the best version of ourselves. What is that? In other words, be determined to become a better you, a better version of yourself every day. And the more people to listen, the greater value today, the greater your potential for tomorrow. How to become a better tomorrow? Learn how your craft today and talk your craft today. So it's very important that you will be able to know all of that. Okay, so those are the 9 principle of leading up. Okay, now leading across. That's number 2. Leading across. Leading across is happens when leaders in the middle of an organization are leaders of leaders. What is that? This leader help peers achieve positive result. In other words, let the best idea win and garner mutual respect. It is very important that a leader must know how to also listen the people that he is leading in his organization. So why? Because for you to succeed in an organization, acknowledge that there are people in your organization that is good more than you at some point. And so that is why when you are collecting their ideas, when you are collecting their strength, it helps to strengthen the organization. And this leader must develop and maintain credibility and continually exert also influence. So that is leading across. So you have to learn not to uh, help, especially on achieving positive result. So what is that? Okay, this is an executive book summary by Aaron Quicks and one of a leadership book of John Maxwell, and he said, it's very important that if you are in an organization, you have to learn that caring, learning, appreciating, contributing, verbalizing, leading, and succeeding is very important. That would always revolve in the organization. Again, caring, learning, appreciating, contributing, verbalizing, leading, and succeeding is is revolving in the organization. Why? When all of these things happen, the people of the organization will feel that they belong to the organization wholeheartedly. Okay. Now, what is that principle when we will put it in a ladder? Number one, caring is take an interest to the people. Meaning, when you care to the people, you are taking an interest of the people in the organization. And eventually, That would climb up to the next level, and that is learning. What is learning? Getting to know the people that you are caring. So, meaning you have to learn the strength and the weaknesses of these people, and you need why you need to learn the strength and weaknesses of these people, so that by learning their strength and their weaknesses, you can be able to see to it that you can place these people at the right spot for these people to become productive. Then number three is appreciating. What is appreciating? That is respecting people. When they are contributing something in the organization, please give generosity in your appreciation, because there are really people that do not know, or do not did not learn how to appreciate people. So that is why, if you are a leader in the organization and wants to become a 300-degree leader, you need to learn the art of appreciating people in the organization. Because even tapping just the shoulder of the people that you are leading, even if you do not say anything, by just tapping their shoulder, for the people that you are leading, it would make them feel good, right? Number four is contributing. What is contributing? That is adding value of the people you are leading. So caring, learning, appreciating, then next is contributing. So what is contributing? You are adding value of the people that you are leading. What is that? Meaning, if we are using our people in the organization, we need to also learn how to give them also compensation of what they are doing. So whether it is a verbal, whether it is in material things, or in any other way that you can give a sort of value or add value of the people that you are leading. The number five is verbalizing. What is that? Of course, when you are contributing, you are adding value to the people. But of course, it's also good to verbalize, especially if you're pronouncing good things and exemplifying what is the thing that your leader is good doing at in the organization. Or, for example, if somebody is leading an event in the organization and the event runs smoothly, then praise your leader by verbalizing your affirmation. Okay? Next is leading. What is leading? Influence people within the organization. And seven is succeeding. What is that? Win with people. Meaning, learn the character, the heartbeat of your people, their interests, their strength, their weaknesses, so that you'll be able to succeed in leading the people even in different personality. Okay, so with the cross principle number two is put completing fellow leaders ahead of competing with them. So in other words, you need to put completing fellow leaders ahead of competing. So we need to help people, because there are really people that wants, or that view their comrades in the organization being a competitor rather than a complementary partner. So we need to establish that. Now that as an organization, we are not competing, but we are complementing each other, especially in the area that we are weak and the other person is strong, or the other person is weak in this area and we are strong. So we are here in the organization not to compete, rather, we are here in the organization to strengthen each other's weak areas in order for the organization to become strong. Then, how to balance competing and completing? How will it be done? So, number one, acknowledge your natural desire to compete. So, we need to acknowledge our natural desire to compete. Being a human, being a person, we need that, or we need to understand that we really need to have a natural desire to compete, but it should be acknowledged. Number two, embrace healthy competition. So when we are in the organization, promote that healthy competition, that we are not competing with anyone else, but we are competing with ourselves. Then third is put competition in its proper place, so that the people within the organization also will be able to know where they are in the competition that is happening in the organization. And fourth is know where to draw the line. So it's very important that, again, you know to draw the line in the organization. Okay. So there's two things that we need to understand in the organization, and that is competing and completing. Why there is competition and why there is completing. Okay, or why there is competition and completion. First is completing happens when there is scarcity of mindset. Hello. When there is scarcity of mindset, then competing happens. Why? Because you want to compete with other people within the organization. But completing or completion will happen in the organization if the people within the organization have an abundant mindset. So that is why it is very important that instead of scarcity mindset in an organization, we need to have an abundance mindset. Another thing is competing happens or competition happens in the organization when the attitude of the people within the organization is me first. But completion happens in the organization when the people within the organization is doing an organization first mindset. Okay? Or organization first attitude. Third is destroys trust. There is a competition when the trust is destroyed. But in the other side, there is completion or complement when the organization or the people within the organization is developing their trust. Next is single thinking and sing up. There is competition that would happen in the organization when there is single thinking in an organization, but there is completion when shared thinking is happening. And another is there is competition when there is excluding others mindset, but there is completion in the organization when there is this including others mindset. So that is why we need to develop this in our organization. Third principle of leading across is be a friend. What is that? To teamwork, add friendship. Then friendship is, we need to know that friendship is the foundation of influence. And friendship also is the framework of success. And friendship also is the shelter against sudden storm. Because in an organization, sometimes it is really inevitable that there are storms that would come along the way. So that is why if you are a friend in the organization and you establish a rapport of friendship in the organization, and if you establish a foundation of friendship in the organization, and if friendship is the framework in your organization, then most likely success will really occur. Okay. Then, how to be a friend? First, to become a friend, we need to listen. Then, number two, again, how to become a friend? To become a friend, you need to listen. Then, of course, find common ground, not related to work. So it's very important also that you have to find, some sort of commonality. Then, of course, um, be available also beyond business hours. If you want to be a friend, if you want to establish friendship, be available even beyond. No, of course, again, you have to know the line also of extending that. Then, of course, have a sense of humor. It's very important. Then, tell the truth when others don't, because it's really good that you will have to tell the truth to the people that you are leading. Okay? So that is just a tip of becoming a friend. Okay. So lead across principle number 4, avoid office politics. Okay. Please take note that you're not running for any position in the organization. So that is why avoid politics in the organization by avoiding gossip, stay away from petty arguments, then stand up for what's right and not just for what's popular. Because sometimes we may be tempted to do what is popular. And sometimes what is popular is not the right thing to do in the organization. So that is why stand to what is right. Then, of course, number 4, look at all sides of the issue. Do not be just one sided. Do not only look for the one side of the coin. Look at the two equal side of the coin for you to really get the whole story. Then, of course, number 5 is don't protect your turf. Okay? So when it's wrong, then it's wrong. Then learn to also uh, ask apology or learn to apologize. The number 6 is say what you mean and mean also what you say, because it's very important that you are really firm to the thing that you want to do. So lead across principle number 5, expand your circle of acquaintances by doing what is the way of doing that? How to expand your circle or expand your beyond your acquaintances? Your inner circle. Your inner circle is the people, immediate people within you. Okay. Then of course your expertise, your strength, your personal prejudices, and also your normal routine. Okay. Then lead across principle number 6, let the best idea win. So when leaders is leads to the best ideas, 360 leaders listen to all ideas, never settle for just one idea. So that is why it's very important. We need to know to link and collect beautiful ideas within the people that we have, and also think that all the people in the organization are all assets, not a liability. So that is why collect beautiful ideas. Never settle for just one idea. Look in unusual places for ideas. Don't let personality overshadow purpose, because there is really this thing that would occur sometimes in the organization, that when a very bubbly personality in the organization, that very bubbly personality sometime is most likely to win his ideas. So that is why learn that you need not to overshadow the purpose of the organization of the personality of the one that is telling an idea. Then, of course, protect creative people and their ideas. This is one of the most important things that we leaders in the organization should learn, that we need to be protective of the creative people within the organization. Because when this creative people in the organization is not taken care of properly, then we are losing an asset. Last is don't take rejection personally. So sometimes our people will reject our ideas. So if that is occurring, please don't feel hurt or feel so bad. Accept that your idea is not good at that particular moment. Okay? So that is leading across principle. And number 6, let the best idea win. Okay. So I let across principle number 7, don't pretend to be perfect. This is one of the fault of many leaders. Why? Because they tend to, show off themselves that they are as if perfect people. If you want to lead across successfully, then admit your faults, ask for advice also, even if you are a leader. Worry less about what others think, because sometimes this becomes a problem, because sometimes we are very cryptic about what the people may think about us. So be open to learning from others and put away pride and pretense, because pride sometimes is the roadblock for us to succeed as a leader. Okay? So put away pride. So that is lead across principle number 7. Lastly is of the three general principle is lead down. What is lead down? Leaders at the top who lead down help people realize their potential, become a strong role model, and encourage others to become part of a higher purpose. So when we are leading in the organization, so I have already reiterated how to lead up, how to lead across, and this time how to lead down. So meaning, if we are leading the people or leading down, leaders at the top who lead down help people realize their potential. So that is why these people is in below us because they felt inferior of their situation. So as a leader, we need to lift these people up so that they will be able to realize their potential and become a strong role model also by encouraging these people to become part of the higher purpose. Meaning you have to let these people understand that you are hired in this organization, that you are there in the organization because you have a purpose and you have that hidden potential within you that you can contribute to the success of the organization. Okay? This involves working through their halls, transferring the vision, and of course, if they have done something in the organization, reward also or give the reward of the result of their hard work. Because by doing so, you can help lift up the spirits of these people that they are that they feel that they are inferior, and uh, they say that the only some people in the organization are good and not them. Okay, so Layden principle number 1, walk slowly through the halls of leadership is people's business. So, suggesting for developing this skill, you have to slow down, meaning we have to let them understand face by face, express um, that you care. So that is why I have reiterated a while ago that we need to care for our leaders. We need to know them. Then, of course, create healthy balance or personal and professional interest also of the people. Because sometimes we tend to only focus on the professional ability of our people, or we are only interested on the professional ability of our people, but not on their personality. So pay attention also, even in their personal, to create just a very healthy balance, because there are really good people in the organization, but their personal outlook is not that healthy. So that is why about themselves. So that is why we are there as leader to lift them up. Then tend to the people, and they will tend to the business also. So tend to the people, meaning give their interest, or give your care, give your interest to these people, and because the people that you are leading, they feel that you love them, they will also do their thing in a way that they would care their job because they love the organization that they belong. Okay? Lay down principle number 2. See everyone as a 10. What is that? See, let, catch, realize, and give. What is that? See them as they can become, meaning see their potential. Number 2, let them borrow your belief in them, meaning please recognize them. Tell them that you believe in their ability and capability to do the thing that you want them to do. Then, of course, catch them doing something right. That is why it is very important that we need to praise these people. Another is realize that 10 has many definition. So what is that? Meaning they have this ability that they can use. Another is give them the 10 treatment. What is that? Meaning that they are, let them feel that they are doing their best. Okay. So lead and principle number 3, develop each team member as a person. When you equip people, you teach them how to do a job. When you develop them, you're helping them to improve as an individual. Because for the organization to succeed, we need to help each person in the organization to realize their individual potential. So, how are we going to do that? Steady development as long as a long-term process. So that is why, um, as the leader of the organization, we need to have this professional development program for our people. Then, of course, discover each person's dreams and desires. That is why we need to discover them. What are their vision and their dreams and their desires of their lives? Then lead everyone differently because not all people the same. So we need to have individual leadership goal also for them to follow us. Use also organizational goals for individual development. So meaning, what are our organizational goals? That is the vision, mission, and core values of the organization. So for your people to be developed, you need to, again, refresh yourself with the vision, mission, and core values of your organization. Next is help them know themselves, because some people, especially if they have this low self-esteem, they really tend to look at themselves so low when it comes to their ability. Then, of course, be ready to have a hard conversation. So let them understand their capability. Then, of course, celebrate also the right wins. Meaning, if they have done or some things that worthy of recognition, then please praise them. Please recognize them. Okay, so lead on principle number 4, place people in their strength zones. Again, be strategic in placing people in doing their job. What is that? Discover their true strength. And number 2, give them the right job, because if you are placing the right people in the right position, then they tend to become productive. And then number 3, identify the skills they'll need and provide world-class training, because you cannot expect your people to just be developed without proper training also in doing the job that they are doing. So that is why discover their strength. Then, of course, give them the right job, meaning be strategic in placing them, where to place them in the organization if you want them to become productive. Then, of course, prepare a world-class training for this skills, for this strength to be harnessed, and for them to become really the right person to do the job. Okay. Lead on principle number 5, model the behavior you desire. So what is that? Your behavior determines the culture. So that is why, as leader of the organization, please do not hail yourself as the most valuable person in the organization. Rather, determined to model a good behavior. If you want that the people in the organization will treat each other fairly, then be a fair leader in giving them fair treatment. The next is your attitude determines the atmosphere. So that is why, as top leader of the organization, you need to have also a very good attitude. Then your investment determines the return. And take note, your character determines the trust, and your work ethic determines productivity, and your growth determines potential. So all of that, if you model good behavior, it will emanate, it will flow down in the whole organization that you are leading. So that is why, leader, be a model. Okay. Next, lead on principle number 6, transfer the vision. What is that? Give clarity, connection to the past, present, and future. Of course, reiterate the purpose, goals, a challenge, stories, and passion. Why? True leaders in the middle may not always be inventors of the vision. They are almost always its interpreters. So that is why, learn to interpret, especially if we are in the corporate world or in the business setup, then learn to interpret the vision of our leader of the people that are leading in the organization. Lead on principle number 7, reward the result. What is that? Give praise publicly and privately. That is what I have said a while ago, or reiterated a while ago. We need to learn to praise our people, whether it is publicly or privately. Then give more than just praise. Don't reward everyone the same also. Meaning, if some people is doing good at far, then you have to also reward at far. Then don't reward everyone the same. Give perks everyone pay. Then promote when possible. And remember, you get what you pay for. Okay, so that is why if you want to encourage your leaders to really show up with their skills, their talents, and their abilities, then you have to do this. Rewards the result of their um, hard work. Okay, so how are you going to apply these leadership principles in your personal life? It's very important. Okay, so the challenge of 360-degree leaders face. There is the tension challenge. What is this? You're caught in the middle, and this inevitably creates tension. So when there is tension, it is very important that you need to know how are you going to regulate the tension. So there are 5 factors that impacts the tension of the leader. So that can be done by empowerment, initiative, environment, job parameters, and appreciation. So that is why for you not to be affected by any tension, the tension challenge, you need to familiarize the 5 factors that impacts the tension of a leader. So empower the people, then also let them have their initiative. Then, of course, assess your environment, know also the job parameters, and learn how to appreciate. Okay, so how can you relieve from the tension challenge? Number 1, become a comfortable with the middle. Then know what to own and what to let go. Because when we don't know how to own and when we don't know how to let go, we will really find trouble on that. Third is find a quick access to answers when you caught in the middle. Because there are really some issues in the organization that would caught us in the middle. Sometimes we don't know what is the answer. So for that to be pacified, we need to have this quick find access to answers when we are caught in the middle. Then of course, 4, never violate your position or the trust that your leader is giving you. And 5th is find a way to relieve stress. That because sometimes stress is really inevitable in our workplace. So all we need to do is learn how to manage stress in our workplace. Number 2, the frustration challenge. What is this? Following an effective leader, your job isn't to fix the leader, it's to add value. So there is really this time that the people that we are leading are very frustrated because the people that we are leading has a lot of mess in the organization. So take note that our job is not to fix the mess, but to add value of the people that is leading. Okay? For the people that is also following at our back, not to criticize our leader. So again, give or add value. Then, types of ineffective leaders. Leaders no one wants to follow. Okay? The insecure leader, the visionless leader, the incompetent leader. So these are the things that would make our followers sometimes get frustrated. So that is why be aware of this. No? And the selfish leader, the chameleon leader. What is a chameleon? The chameleon leader, those leader that is best at making camouflage, just like a chameleon. Then the political leader and the controlling leaders. So there are 8 behaviors of the ineffective leaders in the organization that sometimes cause frustration of the leaders or the people that are following. So that is why as a leader, learn to give values. Okay, so how to deal with ineffective leaders? Develop a solid relationship, because by doing a solid relationship, then you can easily give feedback. Number 2, identify and appreciate your leader's strength. Then commit yourself to adding value to your leader's strength. Then, of course, get permission to develop a game plan to complement your leader's weakness. So that is why this is what I have said a while ago, that you have seen that your leader is weak in this particular part. And if you are the next person in the leadership, please complement. Do not compete. Complement, meaning whatever the weaknesses that you have seen in your leader, be his strength so that your organization will be in balance. Express your leaders to good leadership resources, and then, of course, publicly affirm your leader, okay? So that he will also feel good in his leadership. Okay. Next is the multi-hat challenge. What is this? When you're leading from the middle, you experience pressure from all directions. So that is why multi-hat, because as a leader, sometimes we are using different hats in our organization. And it can be at the bottom of the organization, in the middle of the organization. We are wearing different hats every day. So that is why we need to know what kind of hats we are wearing. So, and the hats of our and the hats that we are wearing, be informed that it is different in the different area that we are exposed to also. Okay, so what do you handle the how do you handle the multi-hat challenge? Remember that the hat uh that you wear sets the context. So that is why you have to know what hat you are wearing. So don't use one hat to accomplish a task that is required for another hat. Then, of course, when you change hats, don't change your personality. Remember, you are just changing your hats, but not your personality as a leader. Then, of course, don't neglect any hat you are responsible to wear also. Because as a leader, we are a father, we are a wife, or might be we are a father, we are a wife, we are the boss, or we are following also. So we are really uh wearing different hats in the people that we are leading. Okay. Then the fourth challenge is the ego challenge. What is this? The invisibility challenge. You are open, hidden in the middle, which can be a great source of frustration, not to mention a heavy blow to your ego. So we need to overcome this challenge by appreciating the value of your position. And even if it seems no one does, just know that you are giving value wherever you are. Okay? Then remember to concentrate, appreciate, find, embrace, and understand. What is concentration? Concentrate more on your duties than your dreams. Because sometimes, if you are too much concentrated on our dreams, sometimes we tend to forget what is our duty in the organization. Then, of course, appreciate your value in the middle. Don't focus too much, because if you are focusing on your duties in the organization, the people that is leading will see your worth and your value. That the people at the top will know you and will be able to recognize all the efforts that you are doing in the organization. Then next is find satisfaction in knowing the real reason for the success of the project. Not only, of course, um, we will really feel good if we'll get promoted. But of course, that will not happen in just an overnight. So that is why we need to do that. Okay. Fifth is the fulfillment challenge. So what is fulfillment challenge? Leaders like to front more than the middle because the front is the most recognized position. This is sometimes many people really likes. Of course, in front, the view is better. They get to determine the direction. They enjoy being on the action. But you know what? You can enjoy being in the middle by developing strong relationship with the key people, defining your wins by teamwork, engaging in nonstop communication, and gaining also experience and maturity. Why? Because if you are gaining your experience, then whether you like it or not, you will be the next person that is right to be promoted in the position. Okay? Then number 6 is the vision challenge. What is this? You have to champion a vision that you don't create. As a leader, sometimes we are this. Maxwell calls middle leaders informational conduits that connects the tops and the bottom. And take note, if you are in the middle, you are a very important part of the organization because you are connecting the top as well as the people below. So your position is very strategic and very important. Okay. Now, so that is why we need not to develop more. We need to really see ourselves in a way that uh, we are doing this. So it is there. We need to know our worth being a leader. And why do people fail to adapt vision? They didn't help create it. They don't understand. They don't agree with it. They don't know the vision. They don't feel that they're needed in order to achieve the vision, and they aren't ready for it. So that's very difficult. And the next challenge is the influence challenge. What is that? It's not easy leading people in the middle. For one thing, you don't have the position, a title on which to fall back. But more importantly, you may have the influence you need to encourage people to follow you. Yet, change your thinking instead of I want position that will make people follow me. Develop a mindset that says, I want to become a person whom people will want to follow. So that is why sometimes for us to get the top uh, position, we need to fully develop ourselves. No, many good leaders believe in their own leadership and believe that they can accomplish their goals with others following them. That does not always happen. Why? Because leadership is not all about influence. If a leader does not have a position or influence, no one will follow. So your challenge as a leader is to become a leader that people will want to follow. Therefore, people will follow leaders that they know and who care, they trust, they respect, that they can approach, and then lastly, they admire. Okay, so the qualities of an influencer: integrity, builds relationship on trust; nurturer, course or cares on people as individuals; faith, believes in people; listener, values what others have to say; understanding, sees from others' point of view; enlarging, help others to become bigger; navigating, assist others through difficulties; connecting, initiates positive relationship; and empowering, give them the power to lead. Okay, so people don't follow CEOs or even presidents merely because of their titles. At least none in the long term they follow. So why? Because they follow leaders who care, leaders with character, competent, consistent, and those leaders that has commitment. Okay, so the value of the 360 leaders is a leadership team is more effective than just one leader. So that is the value of the 360-degree leader. So we're leaders who build teams. We are visionary leaders that are willing to hire people better than themselves. So wise leaders shape their people into team, not only individual. Okay. Number two, leaders are needed at every level of the organization. Why? Because what happens without a leader? A vision will lost, decisions are delayed, agendas are multiplied, conflicts are extended, morale is low, and production also is reduced. So that is why success is difficult. Okay? Then third is leading successfully at one level is a qualifier for leading the next level. Leadership is a journey that starts where you are, not where you want to be. So that is the basic idea that we need to have in mind. Leadership skills are the same, but the league to play changes at every level. Fourth, good leaders in the middle make better leaders at the top every time you add a good leader. So you get a better team
All the leaders in the organization get better, add value to the leaders above them, release top leaders to focus on their priorities. Then, lastly, 500, I mean, number five, 360 leaders possess qualities every organization needs. What is that? What is that? Adaptability, discernment, communication, security, servanthood, resourcefulness, especially in times of scarcity, okay? And of course, endurance when there are challenges, and uh, accountability, um, especially no, in the different positions. So, create an environment that unleashes a 300-degree 60 leadership, okay? Because it's very important that when you are setting a right environment, then right people will also grow in that right environment. So if a leader is ready to revolutionize the organization, it is recommended that they adopt the leader daily dozen or dozen by or doses by, placing a high value on people, of course, committing measures to develop people, placing a high value of leadership, looking for potential leaders, provide safe environment when people ask questions, share ideas, and take risks also. And of course, a rewarding leadership initiative. Provide also your people with the leadership experiences and know and respect your people. It's really very important. Then of course, grow with their people, drawing people with potential into inner circle. So that is why we need to identify. Then, of course, commit yourselves to developing leadership team, because success in organization cannot be done by just one person. So we have to unleash also the leaders that we need that has potential to the potential that they have for them to lead effectively. Okay, so lastly, Lao Tzu said, a leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim is fulfilled, they will all say, we did it ourselves. So that is why it's very important to have this. Thank you so much, and good evening, everyone. Okay? Thank
Wow.
you for having your time to listen.
Wow. That was too long, Sir Vicente. Um, Thank you, participant. You were eagerly listening and you were even chatting on the chat box. As I was looking, I was also participating. And really, being a leader is not that easy. It's not also supposed to be. It's not supposed to be difficult when everybody is working as a team. Uh, okay, there is a lot of things that you have mentioned about the leader, and really they are very useful. As to this time, we are personally, I'm still internalizing all the qualities of being a good leader. Thank you so much, Sir Vicente Gaco San Miguel, for sharing your ideas, your knowledge, and how to become a skillful leader one day. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Let us proceed to question and answers. If there are any questions and queries that you would like to answer, ask to our dear speaker for tonight, anyone from our participants. Okay, once again, thank you so much, Sir Vicente Gaco San Miguel, for sharing your insights and everything, your knowledge about being a 360-degree leadership. Okay, so yun pala ang meaning ng 360 leadership. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so let us continue, dear participants, sharing whatever we want to ask by chatting in our chat box. We would like to read to all the audience and let our speaker know whatever question you want to ask, so that he will also help us answer by answering the questions that you will be raising. Okay? So before that, if there are no anything yet, it's time for a quiz competition. All right? Get ready for our quiz competition. All right. So here, let us follow our quiz for tonight. You can find this one at www.slido.com, code IGP quiz, link in the comment box. Okay. So we're about to start. Unmute pa din. Again, our quiz is found at the www.slido.com, code IGP quiz, link in comment box. You can have your quiz there and join with us. Join at slido.com, IGP quiz, link in comment box. All right. Okay. So thank you, dear participants, for participating. Okay, names are flash on the screens, on your screens. Okay. Please join in the quiz. The following people are being flashed on the screen. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. All right. So here comes our quiz. As much as I want to read it, it's very small and I cannot really read it. It's not visible for me. All right. Dear participants, are you following? Here's the next question. Okay. We have two choices. All right. So the answer is the first one. Thank you so much. I hope that everybody got that. At least 60%. All right, so let's continue. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, your scores. Then the next question. It is a true or a false. All right, the answer is true. 70% got it right. Okay. So on our leaderboard, there you go. The next question is, we have two choices. Dear participants, I hope that you are participating well. Okay. The first one is the correct answer. Sadly, fewer got it correctly. Okay. There you go, your score. And the next question is again true or a false. Okay, the answer is false. And a few of you got it correctly. Only 28%, 23%. Okay. The leaderboard. That is question number, this one is question number 6 already. There are two questions, two answers, I should say, to choose from. Okay, the first one is the correct answer. Wow, everybody got it correctly. Very nice. Upload to you all for number 6. Let's proceed to number 7. Question number 7. It is a true or a false. The answer would be true or false. When completing a 360 degree, really sorry, I cannot read it well. Is it true or false? Okay, the answer is true, and at least many of you got it correctly. Thank you. There, the scores and the leaderboard. Next question. You still have the same two options to choose from. Will you be choosing the first one or the second answer? All right, the answer is the first one. Most and all of you got it correctly. Thank you so much for participating. Wow. For our score, okay. Number 9 question. Okay, the first question, the first answer is the correct one. Most of you gladly got it correctly. Thank you for responding well. There, dear participants, you have there the score, the leaderboard. Okay, next one, the last one. I think this is the last question. You have two choices as well. Will you be choosing the first question? I mean, the first choice or the second choice? Okay. So there, the answer is the first one. Very nice. Thank you for participating, dear participant. There you go. Congratulations, Alex Javier Alvarez. Wow. Okay. So thank you so much, participants, for participating in our quiz for tonight. You got there? Okay, congratulations, quiz competition winners. We have top 10. All right, there. It is all flash on our screen. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, dear participants, for participating in our quiz just now. And congratulations once again for all our top 10 and everybody, those who participated. Really, it is fun for having like this once and after the lecture and after the lesson, we have also our competition and our quiz so that for us to retain the lessons we need to retain for us. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear participants. And congratulations once again. All right, this is nice. All right. So we will be having more of this one as we go on along with the many webinars that are coming along our ways. Okay, so thank you also for sharing this webinar to our friends, which is why we have many participants tonight. We have watched and listened to the speakers. No matter how long he discussed his lesson, we enjoyed it because we learned so much. It is the secret for having and gaining and improving our skills by gaining knowledge from many sources, and one of which is listening to speakers. Okay, thank you so much for participating, really. Okay, and do not hesitate to share the webinar whenever we have like these webinars with others and to our friends. So you are requested and to to ask questions if you have any questions by chatting it by encoding it our chat box. Okay, as much as we can, we will help you answer the questions. Do you have any questions so far? Okay, you are requested to ask questions once again uh, in our comment box. Please address speaker, or I mean, yes, our speaker for tonight is Sir Vicente, and he is willing to answer your queries and questions. Any questions that you would like to ask for Sir Vicente right now, dear participants? Okay, so I think little by little questions are arising. My moderator. Okay, there are questions here. Shall I read it now? How can you lead a person? How can you lead a person in a higher position according to Michael Joy Madriaga? Okay, Sir Vicente, are you ready to answer the questions? Ready na po ba si Sir Vicente sasagot ng question? Sir Vicente
Hello.
Gaco San Miguel?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I think there is a technical issue. That is why our speaker disconnected. So we are just waiting for our QA session for our speaker. If he connect with us, and then we'll start our QA. Okay. Or if he not, then we'll go to our certification process.
All right, so keep on posting. So they will just
Yes, and
keep on posting their. All right.
yes, and we'll play a short video on QA. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Sir Vicente.
Hello, sir.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
You're not
I'm
visible,
sorry
sir.
about the bad
Ay, yung gadget na naka-open. Sir, nag-e-echo po kayo and we can hear your sound.
ma'am.
Yes, sir. I think that is better. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you are not visible.
Okay, sir, please turn on your video. Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much.
Sir,
In a
please
while, you
unmute the
will
mic.
be. Okay. Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much.
Sir,
In a
please
while, you
unmute the
will
mic.
be. Okay. All right. So in a while,
Thank you so much.
questions will be
For a
posted
while, you
from
will
our audience and dear participants.
all right.
Nag-echo. Okay, so a
So in
question
a
from
while,
our participants,
the
we have
questions will be
Michael
posted
J.
from
Madriaga.
Michael.
The question
Is
goes,
it
I
okay,
have a
ma'am?
question. Possible for you to lead a person in a higher position. How? And thank you. One more time, the question comes from Michael J. Madriaga. He said, "Good evening, sir. I have a question. Is it possible for you to lead a person in a higher position? How? And thank you." Sir
Okay, good evening,
Vicente?
Sir Michael Madriaga. It's really true that leading a person, uh, basically, especially if that person is higher than you, is difficult. But what you can do is, as just have your influence, as I have said a while ago, you can make an influence to the person that you are leading, not basically typologizing your uh, the type of his leadership, but rather you can make an influence with a person higher than you. And that is why building a good rapport to um, your leader is very important, because if you have a good rapport to your leader, then you can tell him uh, what is his strength and what is his weaknesses. So that is why it is very important also that leadership foundation is one of that is of course you have a good foundation of friendship, because if you can tell the person that the person higher than you uh, his weaknesses, then it can eventually help him also to recover himself, especially if there is this commotion uh, throughout the organization. And if you are in the middle, then you can help that your leader above by telling him. Um, that is why it's very important that first you have to establish a good rapport or good relationship with a person higher than you, so that you can have an influence whenever it is needed. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I hope that the question is answered. Another question from Marife Timbang. The questions goes like this. What is your advice, sir, if the storm is stronger than friendship in an organization? Thank you for your answer.
Thank you,
Again,
Ma'am
what
Marife.
is your advice? Okay.
Thank you, Ma'am Marife,
Yes, sir.
for your question. Uh, yes, it's true that sometimes issues in the organization is larger or stronger than the friendship you build. So that is why it is very important also that as a leader, you have to first emphasize uh, the first thing is relationship. The next thing is the issue, but do not personalize the issue. Uh, Related also to the personality of the leader. So what is the thing that needs to be brought uh, into place, should be brought accordingly, but uh, not in a way that it can be personalized, attacking the person of a leader. So if really it's very difficult that the issue needs to be brought up, then brought up the issue, but of course do not personalize the issue eq- uh, unequal to the person or to the personality of the leader that leading the organization. So what should be the issue is the issue, and we need to confront the issue, not the person.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much. I hope Ma'am Timbang, your question is answered by Sir. Do not personalize the issue daw. Okay. So there are no more questions. Thank you so much, Sir Vicente, for answering the queries and the questions of our dear participants. And um, it was nice to have a speaker like you tonight, so that we can listen to and be prepared to become leaders in the future. All right. Thank you so much. And there are a lot of things that the participants are casting their greetings in the chat box, and we appreciate so much. IGP family is appreciating your efforts and your participations, even all the many greetings that you are encoding and typing in our chat box tonight. Thank you so much. And Sir Vicente, do you have anything more to say to our dear participants? Last parting word, sir?
Okay. Once again, developing our developing our leadership ability cannot be or cannot happen in just an overnight. So, meanwhile, since we are working in the organization, we have to learn the dynamics of our organization, and then, of course, learn to develop yourself and just be a better person, better than the better version of yourself every day, so that you will be prepared in the challenges ahead, and you will become much more prepared on the challenge of leading the organization in the future. Good night, and once again, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Have a good day, sir. My dear lovely audience. So, okay, here's our host, Ma'am Maria, and because of some technical issue, she was disconnected.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I was cut off a while ago because of the net connection. Okay, for today's certification process, please go directly to the www.slido.igp.com. Today's date, May 21, 2020. We have our code IGP5217. Today's code for the webinar, IGP5217. With code, you can claim your certificates anytime. And please remember the code. It's really important, including the date. Okay? So this is once again for our code, we have IGP5217. Thank you so much. Um, all right, so you can claim your certificates from the code that was sent to you just earlier or a while ago. And please do remember the code. All right. Thank you so much. If there are no more questions, thank you so much for participating tonight's webinar. And without much ado, this is your host for tonight. My name is Maria Cristina Asbucan. I'm from the Philippines, and I think I have to sign off now. Thank you so much and good night. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.